Is Canada really the land of dreams in 2025? Or are the promises of free healthcare, safety, and better jobs just illusions? Let's uncover what it's truly like to migrate to Canada this year, and whether it's still worth the move. Canada has long held a reputation for being peaceful, diverse, and full of opportunity. But in 2025, with inflation, housing crises, job competition, and new immigration policies, does the reality still match the dream? Let's explore everything, from quality of life to cost of living, to help you decide. Canada's population is more diverse than ever, with millions of immigrants from all over the world calling it home. This melting pot of cultures creates a unique and inclusive environment, especially in major cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal. However, with growing numbers also come growing pains in terms of infrastructure, housing, and job opportunities. As an immigrant, what you experience will depend heavily on your background, expectations, and preparation. Some find it to be everything they hoped for, while others face challenges adapting to the cold, finding jobs in their field, or dealing with culture shock. That's why it's critical to assess both the upside and the reality. This video is designed to give you an honest overview. No sugarcoating, no exaggeration, just facts, experiences, and expert advice to help you make an informed decision. If you're planning your next chapter, Canada might still be your best option. Let's find out why or why not. 1. Immigration policy in 2025. Canada remains open to newcomers, with express entry, family reunification, and refugee streams actively running. In fact, Canada is aiming to welcome nearly 500,000 immigrants this year. But here's the catch. Point systems are more competitive, language tests are stricter, and wait times can be long. However, if you're skilled, educated, and have work experience, the door is still very much open. The express entry system continues to be the most popular route for skilled workers, especially for those with strong language scores and work experience in high-demand fields like tech, healthcare, and skilled trades. Provinces also have their own nomination programs to help fill local labor shortages, giving migrants a better shot at permanent residency. That said, immigration policies are adapting. Canada is now giving preference to French-speaking applicants and is targeting regional immigration to smaller provinces to ease the strain on big cities. So while the opportunity is there, your chances depend on strategic planning, adaptability, and language skills. Also note that visa processing times may vary due to backlogs from previous years. So it's important to start early, gather complete documentation, and seek professional guidance if necessary. Canada isn't closing its doors, but you must be ready to walk through them with a solid application. 2. Job market and career growth. There are opportunities, especially in healthcare, trades, tech, and finance. But the job market is tight in major cities like Toronto and Vancouver. Immigrants often face underemployment at first, working jobs far below their qualifications. That said, if you're patient and willing to upskill or relocate to smaller provinces, career growth is achievable and often rewarding. One major hurdle for newcomers is lack of Canadian experience. Employers often prefer candidates familiar with local work culture, even if your qualifications are superior. Volunteering, networking, and accepting entry-level positions are often stepping stones to long-term career success. For professionals in regulated fields such as medicine, engineering, or law, foreign credentials might need recognition or additional certification. This process can be time-consuming and costly, but ultimately rewarding if you're dedicated to settling long-term. On the flip side, industries like IT, truck driving, caregiving, and skilled trades are actively seeking talent and often have easier pathways to employment. Many employers in these sectors are even willing to sponsor work permits or assist with immigration paperwork. 3. Cost of living and housing. Let's be honest, Canada is expensive. Rent in cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Calgary has skyrocketed. Groceries, utilities, and insurance aren't cheap either. However, government supports, public services, and community resources help soften the blow. If you're financially prepared or moving to affordable provinces like Manitoba or Nova Scotia, you can make it work. The housing market is particularly brutal. In places like Toronto, even a small apartment can cost $2,000 a month or more. Home ownership feels out of reach for many immigrants. That said, rental markets in smaller cities and rural areas are more affordable and often come with better quality of life. Food prices, driven by inflation and global supply chain issues, have risen significantly. Budgeting is key, and many newcomers rely on discount stores, community food programs, and immigrant resource centers for help. It's manageable but requires discipline. The good news: public services like libraries, parks, transportation, and community healthcare remain accessible and high quality. While the cost of living is high, the quality of life can still be excellent if you plan wisely and live within your means. 4. Healthcare and education. Free healthcare sounds amazing, and it is, but it comes with long wait times and service delays in some provinces. For education, Canada offers world-class public schools and top universities. For families, it's a huge plus, and for students, permanent residency pathways after graduation still exist, but are getting more competitive. Healthcare in Canada is publicly funded, meaning you won't have to pay for most services. However, this universal access results in crowded systems. Booking an appointment with a family doctor or seeing a specialist might take weeks. Emergency services are prioritized, but non-urgent care requires patience. Private healthcare options exist for those who can afford faster service. Some immigrants also choose to keep supplementary insurance for dental, vision, and prescriptions, which aren't always fully covered. It's not perfect, but still better than many global alternatives. Education, especially at the primary and secondary level, is generally excellent across the country. Universities like the University of Toronto, McGill, and UBC are globally recognized. For international students, studying in Canada can be a gateway to immigration, but only if you navigate the system correctly and meet postgraduate work requirements. 5. Community, safety, and integration. Canada remains one of the safest countries in the world. From clean cities to low crime rates, it's a peaceful place to raise a family. Plus, multiculturalism is a core Canadian value. You'll find communities from every corner of the globe. Integration may take time, but support is available, and you won't be alone. Most Canadian cities have vibrant immigrant communities, whether it's Filipino enclaves in Winnipeg, Nigerian networks in Calgary, or South Asian neighborhoods in Brampton. These communities offer both emotional support and practical help, like job referrals and housing connections. Public safety is a strong point in Canada. While no country is perfect, crime rates remain low and trust in the police is generally high. Walking alone at night in most Canadian neighborhoods is often safe and common, which adds to the quality of life. Integration isn't always easy. Language barriers, cultural differences, and isolation can challenge newcomers, but there are countless settlement services, ESL classes, and newcomer programs funded by both government and non-profits to help you feel at home. Conclusion: so, is Canada worth migrating to in 2025? The answer isn't one size fits all. If you're prepared financially, emotionally, and professionally, it can absolutely be the best decision you ever make. But come with your eyes open, your expectations realistic, and your heart ready for both challenges and growth. Canada offers stability, safety, and opportunity, but those come with high costs, fierce competition, and cultural adjustment. If you're someone who thrives in change, believes in building from the ground up, and values freedom and inclusivity, Canada can be your future. No country is perfect, but for millions, Canada has offered a fresh start, a better future for their children, and a place they now call home. It could be yours too, if you're ready for the journey. Don't forget to like, Comment below with your thoughts or questions and subscribe for more in-depth videos on Canadian life, immigration and global migration tips.